deliver a fair and true verdict as to the charges against the defendant, so help you God. Thank you. Please be seated. 698230C, stating at the Superior Court Holden at Brentwood, within and for the County of Rockingham, aforesaid, on the 6th day of December in the year of our Lord 2019, the grand jurors for the state of New Hampshire, upon oath, present that William Argie, date of birth August 21st of 1972, in the state of New Hampshire, on or about April 4th of 2019, at Londonderry in the County of Rockingham, aforesaid, and in other locations in New Hampshire, did commit the crime of falsification of physical seal and or removed from 118 West Road in Londonderry, New Hampshire, Maureen Argie's cell phone with a purpose to impair its availability in such investigation. Said acts being contrary to the form of the statute in such case made and provided and against the peace and dignity of the state. Charge ID 1698229C, alleging that William Argie, in the state of New Hampshire, on or about April 4th of 2019, at Londonderry in the County of Rockingham, aforesaid, with force and arms did commit the crime of first-degree murder, and that William Argie purposely caused the death of Maureen Argie by strangling and or smothering her. Said acts being contrary to the form of the statute, in such case made in force and arms did commit the crime of second-degree murder, and that William Argie recklessly caused the death of Maureen Argie under circumstances manifesting an extreme indifference to the value of human life by strangling and or smothering her. Said acts being contrary to the form of the statute, in such case made and provided, and against the peace and dignity of the state. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the defendant, Mr. Argie, has been arraigned on the indictments and has pleaded not guilty. And of this, he puts himself upon his country for trial, which country you are. The Attorney General for the state has joined the issue, and you are to say by your verdict if the defendant, Mr. Argie, is guilty of the
Statements by counsel. Before that, I'm going to give you some general instructions as to the law that applies to this case and a few other matters which will give you some guidance as you consider the evidence in the case. After you've been presented with the evidence and you've heard closing arguments, you'll hear further instructions from the court, and then you'll retire to the jury deliberation room to decide your verdict. In order to reach a fair and a just verdict, you must understand and follow the law as I explain it to you. For example, you have to understand the definition of these and a few other matters so that you can reach a fair and a just verdict. You should consider all of the instructions that I give to you, both now, during the case, and at the end of the case as a whole, and not single out any particular instruction as stating the law. You should not consider any item of circumstantial evidence in isolation. Rather, you should consider each item of circumstantial evidence in the context of all of the other evidence. You must understand, however, that this circumstantial evidence rule does not apply to direct evidence.